Hello YouTube, men, women, ladies and gentlemen, artists and artistas. Welcome to my channel. I am EMRY and I'll be showing you how to adjust Krita's workspace. So starting out, here we have Krita downloaded, installed, and opened in its natural habitat. And I want to start off by saying I'm using version 3.3.2, and you can find out your version by going up to help, about Krita, and you'll get a pop-up and you can see your version here right below the splash image. Version 3.3.3 is out right now. That's the latest version. Krita 4 is coming out in March. So if you want to get the latest Krita, it's absolutely free. You go to krita.org and you can download it there if you don't have an updated version. So starting out, you'll first notice the color theme. It's a dark color theme. A lot of applications are moving more towards that. I've seen it in Photoshop. Twitter has that. But if you don't like it for some reason, you could change it. You get about 7 different settings. So you see the options down here in settings and themes. Here's the 7 I was talking about. You don't have to restart Krita to see the changes. It does it automatically, so you can just cycle through these and see which ones you like, which ones you don't like. Oh, I don't like that one. I like the default one, Krita Dark, so I'm gonna leave it at that. The next thing is the Dockers. So you'll see right here on the left side and the right side we have different items. We have toolbox over here, color selectors, layers, and these are items that we could dock to either side of the canvas, which is this area right here. This is the area reserved to draw. And we can move these around. We could adjust the size of the dockers this way, horizontally and vertically. And the way you move them around is with these 2 buttons up here. So one is for docking and one is for closing. This is the docker right here. This docks and undocks it. Just with Krita, you have to press it a bunch of times. It really doesn't register with the first press. I think it's more not how accurate you press it, but how many times you press it. I don't know. But it docks it and it undocks it. So you see that when we undocked it, it brought it down to the bottom left. Now that's because I positioned it over here before I started the video. But Krita remembers where you place it. So right now it's docked and it's in the first tab. So if we move it over to the 3rd tab, this is the advanced color selector, and we undock it. Just press it until it undocks. There we go. And then we redock it. And we play this little dance again. We dance with the button, and it docks it. And you can see it's the last tab again because that's where we placed it. So we do the same thing with the X button and it'll close it out. It will remove it from the right side, the right docker, just as soon as it registers. Okay, let's try a different one. Yeah. Oh, it did it on the first try. I am baffled. But our toolbox is gone. I don't have the tools that I could use to draw. So, but we're in luck. I'm gonna show you how to bring that back. We can just go to Windows and Workspace. Now, this is a list of workspaces, and what a workspace is your dockers saved in the position that they are. So if I go to my workspace and click default, it'll bring the toolbox back, and it'll reposition my tabs so that it's the same way it was when we first opened Krita. And that's one way to do it. Another way that we can do it, actually, let me show you docking. Let me undock this one. So we can move these dockers around. Oh, what was that? Oh, we could dock it on the top. So we must be able to dock it on the bottom. So it looks like we can dock it all around the application. So I'm gonna leave that one there. And let's go to brush presets and undock this one and bring it to the bottom. So the light blue area is where it's going to be docked, where it's going to be positioned. So if we bring it back, let's bring it to this one. You see the light blue area is hovering over the layers and tool options. So that means it's going to be positioned with this group. It's going to be grouped as a tab. But if we move it down, you'll see that it pushes the layer and tool options up, and it creates its own space for the brush presets. Now I'm not going to drop it because I don't want to undock it again. I'm going to drop it right here. So also, if we want to add items, let's say the toolbox, we accidentally deleted it again, we can go to settings and dockers. This is a list of all the dockers that we have available to add to our workspace. Let's go ahead and add the toolbox again. So if it's checked, that means it's in your workspace. If it's unchecked, it's not in your workspace. Let's remove this one, specific colors at the top in this docker, and then also color sliders. So let's remove those two. Go to settings and dockers, specific color selector, uncheck that, color sliders, and uncheck that. So now all we have is the advanced color selector. But our toolbox is still gone. Still can't paint. So let's bring that back. Check that box to bring the toolbox back. Now it's in our workspace, and we have our workspace configured how we want it. And we don't want it to change, but there may come a time where we accidentally remove something, like we did with the toolbox twice. So what we want to do is save the workspace, so you can come back to it later, just like we did it with default workspace. To do that, you come into Windows, Workspace, and you come down to New Workspace. It'll bring up a little dialog to enter a name for it, and we'll call it Horizontal, and click OK to save it. And let's close that out. Switch the tabs around. Maybe we could, yeah, let's resize this. So we have virtually no space to draw. Now we could go back to Windows Workspace and open the workspace that we saved. You'll see here horizontal is now added to the list. And voila, our workspace is back to the way we saved it. So there you have it, adjusting your Krita Workspace. If I missed anything, or if I missed something, let me know in the comments. Thumbs up if you like it, subscribe if you want to see more. My brothers, follow me. I know the way.